I don't have any plans to go to Palermo to make half of the addicts quit in one day. Because no matter what happens, I do this primarily for myself. If I help someone to quit, whether they stay clean or not, I will stay on the right track. I'm alone in this world. All my friends of my age are dead. You are alive by accident. I'm alive while they're not. I'm so alone. They used to say we can't have AIDS here, that this disease can only take place in the West. They used to say that we didn't have drugs or prostitution here. But now in Odessa we have an epidemic, and it happened very fast, because no one wanted to talk about it. They closed their eyes to it.
As the youngest ever press secretary to the Speaker of the Ukrainian Parliament, Viktor Okolov belongs to a new generation of politicians.
We need the transition of the generations in power, and we want what we call a youth politics to take over, so that the entire country will have new fresh politics, not the old-style communist politics. We can then agree on both our interests and the interest of our children's future.
The people who are now in, let's say, their late teens and early 20s really don't have a great deal of experience of any kind of political participation except through the youth movements that we've already talked about. For years and years and years, young people in many of these countries were involved in what you might call obligatory volunteer service in various youth movements and so on. And the challenge now is to take the skills and capacity which were accumulated in those official youth movements, the pioneers, the Komsomol and so on, and to channel all that energy and all that organizational skill into doing other things. I think it's very encouraging that young people are still coming forward to volunteer, but I think we have to recognize the limits of that participation.
I think a lot of young people who join the volunteer movement miss the sense of belonging that they used to have in the Soviet times.
Most of the politicians we have now at the moment are all old-school politicians who used to be communists, who used to be Komsomol members, or they still have this mentality of Soviet life.
Скажи, я не верю, что...
Я не верю в это, потому что с каждым днем и хуже становится молодежь.
She thinks it's getting worse and worse every day. She doesn't believe in the future.
Скажи, что я не согласен с этим.
Dad doesn't agree. He thinks that
Это наше будущее.
I am the future, he says.
И чем скорее они придут к власти, тем будет у нас веселее и лучше.
And the sooner we get to power, it will be funnier and better.
По большому счету нынешних нынешних те, которые у власти, надо разогнать, а молодежь она уже по-своему все сделает. Новое поколение нужно.
My dad says that those people who are in power now, they need to go home and pension because they are all still old-minded, and the youth can, you know, build a newer world.
Young people face many problems now: drugs, alcohol, HIV, and they need to start fighting them before it's too late. When I become a journalist, I will definitely be working with social problems, because every person needs to know about them. It's very important for young people to get involved, to build a better future for themselves and their children.